Hey everybody, Mr. Gibson here. So for this assignment, you're going to start exploring the periodic table and what we call the periodic trends. And those are different characteristics of elements that increase or decrease as you go up and down on the periodic table and as you go left to right on the periodic table. So the way you're going to start to explore this is through this kind of scenario where a new element has been discovered. It's pretty exciting. It's hypothetical, but we're going to pretend that it's real for this assignment. And you are on the task force that has been assigned with putting this element on the periodic table. Now, this unit is going to be, or the first half of this unit is going to be about atomic structure, like the parts of an atom, how atoms bond together. But the foundation of all of that is how familiar you are with the periodic table. So we got to get really familiar with it. So we're going to open the attached PDF with Kami, and let's read the instructions. So it says a new element has been created in the Large Hadron Collider. That's a particle accelerator. Shout out to Barry Allen in CERN, Switzerland, and you are on the task force to determine where this new element should be placed on the periodic table. The International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, IUPAC, that's a real thing, will be deciding the name of the new element after validating the evidence for its existence. So your job is just to use the evidence listed here below and put the element on the periodic table. So it says using the provided models of the periodic table, which are all down here. Consider the properties given for the new element, and then here's your task. Make a claim that locates a new element. So your claim is simply going to be, I think this element should go here. You can say, below this element, or to the right of this element, or above this element. You can use directional instructions like that, but your claim is just one sentence telling me where you think this should go on the periodic table. You're then going to justify your claim with evidence and reasoning. So good news for you, all your evidence is already here. The properties of the element right here are all of the evidence you will need. Now the thing is, some of this evidence is irrelevant. For example, you probably won't use melting point to figure out where this goes on the periodic table. So if you don't think it's helpful, you would not include the information in your evidence. But if the very low ionization energy helps you put it somewhere on the periodic table, hint, hint, it probably should, then you're going to go down here, you're going to make a text box, and you're going to type very low ionization energy. So the pieces of evidence that are helpful, you're going to copy into your evidence. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. Then in your reasoning, you're going to do two things for me today. And these are critical that you do these two things because you're going to have to end up doing this later on, probably on a quiz. You're going to describe how the evidence supports your claim, like you always would with the CER, and you're going to describe the pattern or trend in each model and how that property relates to that, how the property of the new element relates to that trend. So for example, I'm going to lay it all out for you. Let's use ionization energy here. For the record, you don't need to know what ionization energy is yet. You can do this whole thing without knowing the definition of any of these new words. Now, if you want to look them up and figure out what they are, you're welcome to, but you don't need them for the CER. We're just looking at trends. So this says very low ionization energy. So let's scroll down to the periodic table that shows us ionization energy. Ionization energy increases as you go up on the periodic table and as you go to the right. So if it has low ionization energy, where do you think it would be on the periodic table? That's part of the question. So I'm not going to give that to you just outright, but part of your reasoning is describing ionization energy increases up and to the right. So that told me the element would go here if it had low ionization energy. And so you're going to do the same thing with metallic character. It increases to the left and down. Same thing with atomic radius. Same thing with electronegativity, because you can see it increases as you go up and to the right. Okay, so you're going to describe the periodic tables that you see in your reasoning as well as explaining your evidence in your reasoning. And I also put that here. It says you must explain your evidence as well as include an explanation of the periodic trends depicted in the assignment, and I've listed those for you there. Okay. So try your best on this. I think it's a pretty cool assignment because you're getting to, pretend like you're on some sort of cool task force to put a new element on the periodic table. But the important part of this is it's introducing you to these periodic trends in the different parts of the periodic table. All right, guys, if you guys need any help, feel free to email me. Good luck.